On the reporting side, we added few reports based on the SYN cookie, and what's relevant here is the cookies generated or cookies verified. The cookies generated indicates number of the SYN cookie challenges generated by the system, and verified is the number of SYN cookie challenges that are received. That challenge receives a verified response, and then at that point, the TCP session is initiated with the server. Then the SYN cookie flows, which shows you various states. Now, what happens to the good source? So good source, when a session comes, it is not challenged, and straight away that connection goes through without getting into the process of cookie generation or verification. Now, for a bad source, that obviously gets blocked because you don't want bad source to participate in it. So that leaves the unknown source, at which point that unknown source gets challenged is when the system cannot determine its state. And then once it passes the challenge, then it will be awarded a cookie. So you see now here, it's only for the unverified sources that goes through this process. So the SYN cookie activity shows you qualified sources, the internal IPs. So it tells you how many of them are trusted and not trusted. So the cookies are bypassed for the good connections. So quickly on the flow side, so there is an embryonic flow filter we introduced. There is a column that shows the SYN and SYN-ACK exchanged and sending ACK. When you hover the mouse, it just shows you that. And then there is a state column introduced, remains hidden by default. But if you enable that state column, shows you embryonic. And then it shows you for TCP and UDP when you look at the protocol side. So on TCP, embryonic two-way is the SYN and SYN-ACK, as the blob shows you. But when it is UDP, it shows the flow is just a unidirectional flow in case of UDP. So the internal IP reputation also has some reporting. It shows you the recent 50 IPs always on the list, and it shows you which segment and zone that we observed and its state. And the state is dynamic, so its state can be always seen. And you can always query a state of an IP. So you just select the segment and type in the IP, and it tells you one of the three states, whether it is trusted, untrusted, or unverified. For qualifying the internal IP, we use this mechanism. For external IPs, we tap into the IP reputation database that we obtain from the Bright Cloud. So if you click on the details, you will also see the state as embryonic. So this is an experimental feature. In case of licensing, subtle differences, the SYN cookie will be part of the standard licensing, and Smart SYN cookie will require the DTD or traditional AS. The old FPP templates will be migrated to the new structure with add-on settings. So the FPP configurations will auto-adjust during the template applications based on the appliance version. So if you push a template from 9.6 to in older ECOS devices that doesn't support this, then those configs will simply not be applied. Internal IP reputation settings, embryonic two-way flow have been removed from the threshold as they are not supported on the appliance. So on the logging side, so there are two broad set of logs. When SYN cookie is activated, and it says SYN cookie activated, and that's done for both source side and zone side. And then we also generate logs when SYN cookie is cleared. So it calls out DOS threshold max action cleared. So when the max action SYN cookie, when it clears off, you will see an FPP log that generates. And this is done for both source and zone type classification.